Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Armada Village Council. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Coleman.
Here.
Adair. Here. Belkey.
Here.
Sturrick.
Here.
Marzick. Here.
Okay, you have the agenda before you. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion's approved. We have no citizens' comment. Someone like to speak?
Go ahead.
All right.
Just have a couple of things.
All right. Kevin Brand, Armada resident. Have a question on one of the agenda items, 2A. First question, is this something that's not being done? And if not, why? And second, this has to do with an issue I brought up several months ago regarding the snow removal ordinance. I was just curious what the status of that is. So if someone could address those items tonight, that would definitely be appreciated. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Yes.
Bob?
So, two things. Last week, Anna brought up that, our last meeting, that we were gonna do the long-range planning and the I can't remember what it was called.
CIP.
Yeah. And what I was hoping for is that everybody, when they did that, and January is when all that starts and the budget planning, that you remember to put in something for your long-term objectives and future capital planning and that type of thing. So I was just hoping for that. The other thing is that we talked last week about the house with all the construction and all the trash and all that stuff, and this is part of the enforcement. I think that's on the agenda. We're hoping to have an update on how we did with that. My wife, when she heard that, drove by every single day, and nothing's really changed. So I'm just wondering if there's any update on that. So, I mean, all we saw was the yellow tape got added, so.
No, I think that's been there.
Yeah. Well,
Still looks like Detroit.
Just my two comments.
Any other citizen comments? Okay. There's no presentations. Administrative reports. You want to start, Ross?
Yeah, let me go, and then I would, Mike, if you're going to say anything, I've got a bullet on that issue. Be a good time maybe to do it, and then we'll get you out of here. Okay, hopefully everybody got a copy of my written report trying to comply with Michelle's request. Just on the wastewater treatment plant, easement, water line construction, we did send in the paperwork, as I mentioned at the last council meeting. I did not hear anything back from the county, so I did contact Paul Zook, who's our point of contact there, and he did say they are working on trying to figure out how to approach it. So, which is good. You know, we're not trying to rush them or anything, but because there's not a timeline, Mike, you know, we're not going to get that line in this year, but we'll get all the planning up to it. Try to do it next year. Interior water tower painting and insulation update. Eagle did here very recently approve the permit for the interior tower, what they call wet bulb painting. That's the inside of the tower. And council had also approved the 5-year payment for the insulation work agreement, and so I did sign that and sent that off to USG, who's our tower maintainer. Currently, the work's scheduled for the September-October timeframe after the fair. I'm meeting with USG tomorrow to try to nail down specific dates. One of the issues there is when that tower gets taken out of service, obviously the fire department doesn't have use of it, so I got to make sure that I advise the chief well in advance so we can plan for it. F&B water sewer service contract extension. Council indicated that Mike and I should send an official request to F&B asking for the one-year contract extension. Just makes sense to not go through a major negotiation, potentially change scope when we need to determine what we're going to be doing with the DPW superintendent and if jobs are going to be added or taken away from F&B at a future date. So, letter did go out. I don't know if it's been received yet, but I did give an unofficial copy to Catherine Nguyen, who's the regional manager, and she had indicated unofficially they're more than willing to do it. And right now, I don't expect any changes to any of the scope. There'll just be the yearly cost increases as has occurred over the last 4 years. Water system sanitary survey update. Continue to work with Eagle to provide final documents to them that they requested. Eagle now wants everything to be put into a system called EDI. Documentation from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago is not in EDI. They're trying to rectify some of that. I think we've done well. I'm looking forward to the final report, and I expect it in about a month. Finally, update on the nitrate sampling process violation. I'm going to say my spiel here, and then Mike, whatever you want to say. We did recently send out a letter to the community regarding a sampling process violation, a lab error that got sent into Eagle, a lab reading error that got sent into Eagle, falsely suggested that we had a off-the-charts nitrate reading, and we've gone back and done a confirmation sample on that, and it shows as samples that we've done over past years that we have no nitrate in our system. So the sample came back as negative, no indication, right, Mike?
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. So I just want to make sure the public understands that the letter we sent out indicated the same thing, but Eagle is sensitive after some of the issues that they've had over the past few years, sensitive to ensure that communities are informed of issues, and one of those issues is if we don't follow the process properly. If we had responded within a 14-day time limit after that initial sample was taken, all would have been forgiven, there would have been no issue, but we missed that, and the confirmation sample came in about 28 days later. So hence we've got a violation. It's a tier 1 violation, $200 fine. First fine I think we've gotten, at least while I've been water commissioner. And I've talked, and plus we've had in the process of getting the mailings out, it cost about $750 for postage, letters, office burden, and so on by the staff having to put that stuff together. I have talked to Catherine Nguyen of F&V, and I said, expect you guys to pay that. She's indicated that that's going to happen. It'll be paid to us through a credit in our next monthly invoice. So we're going to get paid back for that. Mike, anything else to say on that? Or?
No, you kind of covered it. I will just, I guess, explain to everybody, and you've probably given it, this is my first meeting I've attended, but you know, each year Eagle sends a letter to us telling us we need to monitor for certain parameters, certain times of the year. And as Ross said, I had collected a nitrate sample along with some arsenic samples, cyanide samples, some of our other required sampling parameters, and sent them into a lab. Unfortunately, my contract lab that I used for testing that made an error testing, which was noted on their report they sent to me, and I do want to apologize. Unfortunately, I just should not have sent that to Eagle myself. I sent the entire report. I thought it stated clearly that, oh, there was an incident, accident at the lab. No big issue, we'll resample. We have till the end of September to resample. Unfortunately, they didn't see it that way, as Ross said. They're kind of, I don't want to say nervous, but they're really
They're sensitive.
following all their rules ever since the fiasco. I'll take it back to Flint, back when I worked there years ago. So usually, in my past experience, if a lab makes an error, it's okay. I just like to send everything to Eagle to show them. But unfortunately, I should have realized their mindset nowadays and how sensitive they are. To me, it was just, I'm going to resample the next month when we do some other samples, and we'll get it all straightened out. Unfortunately, I couldn't convince Eagle to rescind that notice, because there's nothing worse than making the public nervous about their drinking water or any other service that the village provides. So I will reiterate that F&B we will credit back the costs that the village incurred during that, and we'll make sure nothing like that happens again. In my past, I've done that, sent samples in, it's okay, but because it was nitrate, and that's considered a tier 1 violation, that's why I think they were so sensitive. Anything else, I think we could have just went along standard business.
We did, as I say, we did send out a letter. Haven't gotten, Mike's name is on there, I put my name on there. It's a templated letter from Eagle. We have very little ability to change what it says. I understand through Facebook it was a little confusing to some people, but that's Eagle's template. So, but I did put my name on there. Mike, you haven't gotten any calls on it?
I have not.
I have not received any calls on it. So, okay, that's all I got.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner reports?
Planning Commission, we didn't have a meeting this month. I'm not sure why we didn't, but we did. On the parks, I want to give Andrew Wyatt some recognition from Wyatt Enterprises, because he's the one that so graciously painted all our playground equipment.
It's good.
So, yeah, it looks good. He even did all the chains. I was like, oh, we're going to do the rusted chains. I was going to paint them silver, but he painted them green. So it looks good. It looks
It
good.
all matches.
It all matches. Yeah.
Is there any other
I have a council, or yeah, an agenda item, so I'm good.
I just want to talk about your memo. Can we talk about that after are you going to discuss such a memo?
Discuss it during
And we can talk it after.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, then moving on to general business. You have the consent agenda.
Mike?
Could I have a motion on that?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support that.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's approved. Okay, under old business, we got code enforcement. We've been discussing that.
Yes, and I just got off the phone with him on updates on what the issue that we asked about. The homeowner's not real cooperative,
Yes.
so he has been issued a citation. And code enforcement did let him know that if he doesn't come forward within the next 24 hours, that citation's going to court. So he knows that it's at that point. He and I are still discussing ways to come up with snow removal.
Well, we have those hangers that they can put right on the door.
Yes,
So, but he's got to get in town to do that.
and he's been better at it this summer than he has lately, as far as getting around town.
Are you saying that he doesn't come 2 to 3 times a week to drive around like the paper says?
I didn't
These are-
specifically,
This is a working draft on what
what we would like the
Oh,
code
I
enforcement
see.
to
I can do
do.
that.
It's not,
what they
it's
do.
not,
Set in
yeah,
stone.
yeah.
Other than that, I think that's all I'm gonna talk about. And he did reiterate to the gentleman with the house on the repair that he's gotta make some progress, he's gotta come in the office, his permit is expired. So, he's got a lot of action he needs to take, so.
There's been a citation and
Yes.
that'll probably be going to the court.
Getting up the ball rolling.
Yes.
Yep.
The ball's rolling.
Okay, does that cover you?
Yeah.
Okay, under new business. Smart fund distribution, I think you might be interested in that.
Yes, sir. If pleases the.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm
So,
having a call.
I'm Jeff from Richmond Lennox EMS, I come before you, usually annually. If you remember, I was here about 4 months ago with regards to the smart
Yeah, it's so good to
contract.
see you
And,
again.
yes, and for those of you that might recall, I think at that meeting, so I was saying this in all the meetings, so I'm going to be back in about 4 months. Last year, when Smart issued the contracts for municipal and community credits, it took them about 8 months to get them out. So we operated from July till whenever I was here, really with no funding, on kind of the goodwill and good faith of our neighboring communities and organizations. So those funds were used for from last July through this June 30, if you will. These funds begin this July, so this time it's much better. We're only 25 or 28 days in, I guess, to the month, and they've got the contracts out, and that's why I'm back in kind of such a big hurry. Really, no big changes. So, in the interest of the board's time, I can tell you that at the end of last year, we finished with 1,038 rides in your in the Armada area. That includes you folks and the township. So that number was about where it's been in the past. Actually, it was up just a little bit. We're still seeing about we're down about 6%, which is good because we've been able to add a little bit of service to the number of people that get turned away. So we're serving about 94% of the people who call. We do a monthly report that I send out to the community here that shows how many people system-wide we're turning away, and we're right at about 6% right now as far as the turn rate. It was about at 10% at one time, so we have been able to make some adjustments that allow us to serve a few more people, which is really what we're here all about. I can tell you that SMART is looking at a different funding method going forward, which may include the money going to the county, or portions of going to the county and then coming back to us. They're still working out those details, but it's in an effort to get more of the millage money. You all pay 1 mil to SMART, and there's an effort afoot at the county executives and some of the larger communities that pay millions of dollars to SMART to get more of that money back into the hands of the local community. So those discussions are ongoing. So we may see a completely different contract next year. You'll probably still see me talking about dollars, but it may be a different contractual arrangement going forward. Time will tell. I can tell you, I think it was in some of the media, but SMART did their general manager, who had been in place about 3 years at SMART Corporate, kind of, if you will, left last Thursday, and the deputy general manager was appointed general manager. So there were some changes at the very top of the SMART organization. Again, I don't work for SMART, so that's just information. I work for Richmond and Lennox Township, who provides you a small bus service. So unless there are any particular questions? I just got one question. Now, with people that are turned away, is it because you've reached saturation point for the day? Yes, You just yeah, don't have capacity? we are just absolutely full. Okay. And sometimes people call and they'll ask to speak with me, and I use this as my comparison, Mr. Clark, and that's simply to say, if you try to book a flight on Delta tomorrow and the flight is full, it doesn't matter who you know or what you know, they don't let you on that airplane. And so similarly, when the flight is full, in this case a small bus, that just means there's no more room. It doesn't mean that we wouldn't like to serve you, it just means we're out of space that day. We've become a victim of our own success. For those people that have been around a long time, they complain about these vehicles back in 1999 when we started doing this, was that nobody ever rode the things. So
Right.
we've come a long way, you know,
We need a bigger
20,
bus.
in 25 years, as we've come a long way to have them full now, so. That's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yes.
We wish we weren't turning anybody away. Thank you for the question.
I have a kind of a shout out to Smart. I'd never ridden one before until New Haven had the monster bus tour thing and they shuttled them from the school
Oh, got it.
up there.
Oh, yeah.
I was amazed. They were the cleanest, nicest, most comfortable public transportation I'd ever.
Thank you. We try to keep our equipment up
So
really
clean.
well, or
So
whatever.
clean.
It's got to last a long time, and so the better you maintain it, the longer it lasts, and the longer it looks good. So we're supposed to be getting 4 new buses this year. Smart provides the buses under, our agreement with them, and then the operating funds come from all of the communities. So we've got 17 buses we're due to retire 4 this year and get 4 new ones. So.
We got a motion.
Okay, I'll resolve to allow the clerk to sign a municipal credit and community credit contract and resolution to distribute for year funds 2025, 2026 municipal credit funds totaling $1,557 and community credit funds totaling $4,956 directly to Richmond Lennox EMS.
Support.
Okay. Roll call. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion's approved.
Thank you all. Michelle, if you can send that, email it to me, and I'll make sure it gets through the SMART process, because it's still a pretty big bureaucracy down there, and I can sometimes move it through a little bit easier.
Okay,
Send
perfect.
it to me first. All right? Thank you all. Have a good night.
Okay. Office copier, is this yours, Michelle?
Well, it was approved in the budget, so we can get a new copier. It's going to be cheaper than what we're paying now. Trying to see what Becky told me, because she's the one that's behind this. Actually decrease the monthly cost and it also has connectivity for Windows 11, which this one is. So we need to update the copier.
So it's $3,429.
Yep.
Can we get a motion on this?
Motion to approve the purchase of a Ricoh IM 2500 with fax option and cabinet for the not to exceed cost of $3,429.39, and to allow the clerk to sign any contracts pertaining to this purchase.
Support.
Michelle. Now we need a roll call on this.
Delkey?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Cronin?
Yes.
Adair?
Yes.
Stirrit?
Yes.
Barzik?
Yes.
So just a little request, when it comes in, maybe, I don't know what other folks want to do, but maybe get a 5-minute class on how to operate it, since I'm frequently using it or asking Becky to
Yeah.
run stuff.
Yep.
What do we do with the old copier?
I think they take it.
Yeah.
Take it back from the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. General fund loan clarification, is this yours? And
It is. I think most of you know, Curtis was here a couple of different weeks doing our annual audit. You all know that we get audited every year.
By an outside source.
By an outside source, yes.
So that is clarified.
So one of the things that Curtis brought up to me was being absolutely clear about the money that the general fund has loaned to water, sewer, and streets. And because it's a loan and to be paid back, he doesn't feel that it should be included as a part of our budget in the line. There should be a notation at the end of the budget that these are loans that are being paid back. So that's what the budget amendment, I tried to explain that to everybody in the memo, and then the attached budget amendment is what we need to do to clarify, to get those amounts off the budget that we originally put in.
So then you'll just make the transfer
Yeah,
between accounts?
right,
offline and keep a
Right.
notation of it?
Exactly, so it doesn't change the bottom line of the fund balance in
Right.
any of the accounts, because that notation will leave that balance where it is. But this is the way they would like to see us do it, so
It's an
it's, so
accounting
that it's
thing.
clear it's a loan and not, that we just gave money to streets to do this.
It's a
So-
GAP or GASB thing that they know about.
Right.
We don't. We're
Right, exactly.
elected officials.
Right, and that's what I explained to him, that I was doing it in the budget and showing that it was a repayment of year 2 out of 5 or whatever, to make sure that in the event I'm not here, that the next person would know what payment you were on. But he said it should just be done as a notation, so.
Well, you gotta show money coming in, when you do your budget. If Ross's water department's gonna give $20,000, you gotta show that as.
Right, that will be noted on the bottom, but not included in
In
the
the
account
account.
lines.
I guess the only thing I would, I mean, I don't have a problem. As you said, I'm in year 2 of my payback already for the money I borrowed for the media exchange. I would just, and I would imagine you're going to do it, but request you coordinate with the commissioner before money just disappears, gets sucked back into the general fund.
It's mine now, I'm taking it.
No, I have no issue with it. It's just that the way the water department works, sometimes your balance arises
I know.
and falls per quarter.
Right,
and
and I certainly wouldn't take it if you were
No,
gonna
I-
go into a negative, but you're
Yeah.
both okay right now,
Yeah.
so.
Ann
probably
and I have
wouldn't
arm
be
wrestled
taking that.
before. I gotta have it, no, you gotta wait.
Yeah,
And-
I'd like to take that like at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah.
So that's when I plan to do it, so that way you have a clear idea of what you have left. So
Sure.
you're not counting on
It
that
just,
money.
it can't put expenditures at risk
It
if
won't.
something's coming down.
It won't,
Okay,
okay?
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
And it is shown on the capital improvement plan, I've shown those repayments
I'll put that on there.
for the upcoming years, so that everybody's aware of what year you're in on your repayments.
So,
Need a motion?
yeah.
I'll make a motion that it be resolved to categorize monies given from the general fund to water, sewer, and municipal streets as loans with the expectation that they will be repaid.
Support.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion is approved.
So then we gotta read each motion?
The budget amendments.
For the-
I gave you 3.
Oh, that's a lot of reading.
Wait, are we doing all 3 of these?
Yes,
Okay,
Okay.
sorry.
yeah.
Each fund has to have its own motion.
So, what's the first one here? Mine?
I'm gonna do mine. Mine's at the bottom.
I'll take the first one.
Okay.
It moved the resolve to approve the budget amendments for the general fund, decrease, transfer to other fund in the amount of $250,000 to remove loan to municipal street, and decrease transfer from other funds to remove water and sewer loan payments, which brings the total estimated fund balance for the general fund to $1,651,923.04.
Support.
Okay, we don't need a,
Mhm.
okay.
Shaw,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Stirrit,
Yes.
Barzick,
Yes.
Adair,
Yes.
Konen.
Yes. Okay,
Do you need them in order?
for the street fund?
Amy, do you want to?
I can do it.
Yeah.
Ready? All right, resolve to approve the budget amendment for the municipal street fund, decrease transfer from other fund in the amount of $250,000 to remove loan from the general fund, bringing the estimated fund balance for the municipal street fund to $69,870.
Support.
Steve?
Support Clark. Want to call?
Barzick,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Konen,
Yes.
Adair,
Yes.
Stirrit,
Yes.
Belkey.
Yep.
Okay. Resolve to approve the budget amendment for the sewer fund.
decrease transfer to other fund in the amount of 20,000 to remove the loan payment to the general fund, bringing the estimated fund balance for the sewer fund to $332,304 even.
Support.
I'm getting fast around here to put support.
You do have to be fast. You're messing around, Joe.
Stirrit,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Adair,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Cronin,
Yes.
Garza.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you do water?
Okay.
Oh, there's one.
There's water, so motion to approve the budget amendment for the water fund decrease, transfer to other fund in the amount of $30,000 to remove loan payment to the general fund, bringing the estimated fund balance for the water fund to $70,911.93.
Support.
Ooh, good job, Joe.
Got it in there.
There you go, Joe.
Looking at that,
Good
thinking,
catch.
I'm in your corner.
70 million, 900, yeah, I wish.
Oh, whoops, no. Belkey,
Yes.
Adair,
Yes.
Garza,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stirrit,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Cronin.
Yes.
I just had a little something I want to talk about when you're done. Are you, is there any more? You're
That's
done? Okay. Well, this is just something I want to bring up. In the memo, for the general fund loans from Ann, it recommends that the street fund not be able to borrow any more money for street projects until the current loan is paid back for the Cape Seal project. And I understand the concept of that, but I just don't really agree with it right now because we have 4 more streets to do to have most of the worst streets done and looking better. And if we could do those next year before this Cape Seal company gets too big and forgets about us, you know, while they're still interested and it's fresh in their minds that, oh yeah, those people were great, you know, we did their streets last year and we'll come back again. I just would like to finish the worst of the worst, but I'm just putting it out there.
Do you have an idea what it would cost?
Yes, it's gonna be a lot. It's probably
That's a
gonna
lot.
be, it's gonna be more than this project. This project was 340. I do have the
Just looking at
figures.
About $500,000.
Yeah,
$500,000?
you know, with the,
To do
and with
4
the
streets.
engineering, but they're large streets, like Church, Floral,
Church.
Colonial, and East Prospect I wanna do, because that's getting kind of bad too. But I'm just putting it out there. That's really what I'd like to do. I know, you'd like to do that, and I do understand that,
We're gonna have to look at
It's
this at
budget
budget
time.
time.
Yeah, budget.
I am.
And it
And
is
see
the
where we're gonna be.
recommendation
Maybe do
of the
half.
auditor that the loan be repaid.
What
And
about
that's
water,
I was
what
gonna
about
add, too.
water
We've
and
had these
sewer?
restrictions in the past too. When we did the CSO, the sewer separation project, that was municipal water and sewer. And municipal was restrained from borrowing any more money until their portion was paid back.
What about
Because
water?
their income wasn't coming in enough.
Water and sewer, can water and sewer still borrow if they have loans?
Depends on, it would depend, when I was treasurer, it depended on what their fund balance was and the rate of their return coming in and billing that fund
Right.
again.
Because you're not gonna be able to pay it back.
Well, not for a few
Next year.
years.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you add more debt onto that, then.
Right, well, and I understand the concept. Hey, I understand, you don't wanna be too far into debt, but, it just would be nice, like, I'm just afraid what's gonna happen in the future,
Well,
The only-
again, we gotta look at how it affects the total
All the funds.
operating budget of the village.
Right,
I mean, if you don't wanna drain your
General fund.
rainy day fund,
yeah.
general fund, we've got loans, the general fund's got loans out to sewer, to water, to
DDA.
streets.
Right.
DDA, yeah.
So, yeah, DDA is still paying back, so we, as much as we would all like to do those streets, especially if now that you say it's gonna be a whole lot more, well, then we're gonna have to really look at it and see where we are.
Right, because if we do less than the 4, they'll probably never come out, Those 4, I think, are kind of similar.
We don't know
to
what
we
they'll
have.
do yet, but, again, we gotta take a look at the budget and see what it does to the total finances of the community.
And not just the budget, but I think we also need to give it some time to see how these streets that we're doing now hold up, how people like it, what the response
Right, this
is
is a
to
whole
it.
different process.
It's a whole different process than we've ever done in the
Right.
past.
That's
So
good.
we need to see, you know, the other thing too, this is a lot of heavy equipment going up and down our streets right now. Hopefully it's not breaking any of our infrastructure, because that would be a whole different expense. So we really need to think about that before jumping into the next phase of the project.
Okay, moving on, item E.
Oh, that's me.
That's you, Mike, you're up.
So we had, Maggie, we had this SCADA in the budget that Steve had put together a while back. And that was for the reactors. They reprogrammed them so they can get them on their phone and adjust them as needed wherever they were. There was a little bit of money left over in that project, but what I didn't realize is that it also needed to handle these alarms that they're getting are through the SCADA program, and they don't know what alarm they're getting. Really, this probably should have been updated back when we did the plan. There was a lot going on, and maybe it fell through the cracks, but if they get an alarm, it's like getting a text on your phone and you don't know who sent it. You know, do you call the number back? And so they have to come in and see what the alarm is. So what they proposed was having this company, was it UIS, SCADA?
Yeah.
Come out and pin each of those alarms to what the alarm is for. And that's what you have here. It also does increase the cruise subscription, because I did question that. We already have a cruise subscription for this much coverage. Now you're adding 150 alarms, which would be like a bigger package, so that does increase our annual cruise membership. So that's the two things that are on here. Any questions about that?
I would say that's a smart thing to do. Water system was done a couple of years ago, and it's set up that way, so I know if it's a door alarm, I know if it's a pump that's going out, I know if there's a tower issue, I know if it's telemetry, I know if it's a generator. I mean, I can tell what the problem is, and then react accordingly, just because the alarm triggers that. So
Right.
I would think it would be very valuable to Mike and
Definitely the F&V, yeah.
wastewater treatment.
This does not handle the lift station on Colonial. That'll have to be another project or another review.
Well,
This is
usually the way
just for
that
the
gets
plans.
put into effect, we have power outage, and it's kind of an
Right.
automatic thing that they have to get over.
They get, right, and then DPW shows up and then F&V sends a rep out as well.
Right.
There's just not, I don't think there's a way around it. We've been dealing with this for 20 years I've been around. But this will handle the actual plant. It does not give them the ability to adjust these 150 alarms on their app or on their phone. They'll just be able to see what it is. And is it just a flow meter went up and down and it's all fine now and saves them a call out? Or is it something where they need to physically come? So I'm also
When they
going,
get called, then they would know what the problem was.
Right, whether they had to come out or not.
yeah, they're gonna get it on their phone and it'll tell them, hey, your one thing is tripped, your reactor is tripped, or whatever it is, your flow limit's tripped, you need to, then they make the determination on
If
whether
they need to come in or not.
So that'll give them that. We're also going to, outside of this, they're gonna buy a couple cameras off Amazon just to put in that the brand new building, south, what do you call it, south?
Pipe gallery.
Pipe gallery that has had the flooding problems. I said, put a camera in there so you can see if it goes up. When we had 6 inches of rain that one day, my wife's watching the pool. I wasn't in the state. She's watching the pool as it comes up. When we have those kind of events, it allowed them the ability to do it through the monitors, through the backup sub pump, through the backup sub pump, and actually have a visual of it. So they're gonna spend a couple bucks on those monitors just off of Amazon, and we're gonna have that backup as well. We learn.
The whole
So-
package makes sense. I mean, why would you want to get an alarm? Oh, shoot. Now let's go figure it out, see what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have to drive.
No, one that.
And Dan does drive a while, and that's not on us, that's on him, but
Still.
it's a long drive to come out for a simple switch.
Yeah.
And maybe could have waited 10 hours.
Yeah, right.
Not everything's urgent, but if it is urgent, we do want them to come.
Right.
So this will take the guesswork out. So I'll make a motion, unless anybody wants more discussion.
Here.
I'll make a motion to approve Utilities Instrumentation Services, Inc., quote number 251108 for $7,285, which includes SCADA programming as well as the annual cruise subscription fee, and allow the sewer commissioner to sign a quote on behalf of the village.
Support.
Let me get going, okay, good.
And they are the sole provider for this.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Stewart,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Adair,
Yes,
Belkey,
Yes.
Garzik,
Yeah.
Conan,
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Okay. Item F. About possibly setting committees to determine the scope of DPW supervisor and future water sewer contracts. So, as far as finding a replacement for the DPW supervisor, working on that. Steve and I met with Dave Wagner. His intentions are not to retire till 2027. And of course, it'd be nice to, you know, if we knew like when in 2027, but it might be a little premature trying to hire somebody at this time. But, you know, if,
I don't think the committee is looking to hire. I think it's looking to set the scope of what the job
Right.
is. We're not looking to advertise now, we're not looking to get a replacement in, but I think we definitely have to have what the scope of that job is going to entail, because that is going to determine how we have to advertise for it, because I think we're gonna have to go into, you know, waterworks and other places, and these two things kind of go hand in hand, because
They do.
if we're gonna have F&V continue to do some of the duties of what the supervisor could be doing, then they need to know that when they're talking to F&V about the contracts. So they kind of go hand in hand. We kind of have to determine and set what are the actual duties of the DPW supervisor. And if there's stuff in there that we're not going to have a new supervisor, this isn't gonna affect Dave. This is for when we move forward.
It's future.
You know, then we can, you know, then maybe there's stuff that we don't have to have in the F&B contract, you know? Or maybe there's more we have to have in the F&B contract. So that's, I think, what the committee discussion is gonna be for now. And we're not looking to hire somebody this year to replace Dave in 2027.
Right.
We're just looking to figure out what is the scope of work that's going to be.
one of the problems here is, I think the scope of work, they really depend upon the person that we hired, because some of them have a water license, some don't.
But
Well,
that's what we have to decide what the requirements are going to be.
Yeah, you make a parameter, and these are the requirements that we want
Yep.
Yeah.
But
for the position.
it's good to make that requirement, but we had an awful time hiring people in the last 4
But
or
that's why we
5
want to do
years.
it now. And we don't want to be doing it 6 months before, you know, at the end of 2026.
Yeah.
We might have
Whatever.
to increase the pay too, based on their
Yes.
What they're gonna
permits, they have,
do.
what they
Yes,
have.
for
If
sure.
they've got the license,
If
water
they have the
license.
knowledge and they have the licenses, and we
Yeah.
can't get anybody else. We're gonna have
Absolutely.
to-
So, what
Yeah,
would,
yeah.
you want us to form, we can form a committee tonight.
That's what I was
If
gonna
you would
suggest, and
like.
I was gonna suggest that it be Ross and Mike, because those guys know what's going on.
And maybe.
I would also
And Steve.
add
If he
no,
doesn't.
I would have Ross, my suggestion would be Ross, Mike, and Amy, because they all have direct dealings with the DPW superintendent.
Correct,
So, you know,
correct. If, as long as we're willing to.
but if, you know, that's my suggestion.
I agree.
I don't know if we want to make a motion and, you know, you three may say, wait a minute, you know,
Well, that, those three make sense.
Yeah, they do. They're direct.
Yeah, I wouldn't
contact
have,
with
I
the
wouldn't have a
people.
clue, other than I've been on the water commission, I was water
So,
commissioner, I wouldn't have a clue.
can we make that motion, you three?
Yeah.
I mean, the third meeting is during the day, it's a little bit harder for me to make.
I'm not doing anything during the day either.
Well, because.
Well, Ross is retired, so he can just, meet anytime.
I know, I just don't want anybody to get
Yeah.
mad that I'm not, you know, able
Well,
to
you
make
just
every
need to
meeting.
set
Well,
up your
Would it be
meetings
better to
already.
have somebody who doesn't have?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it. If we need to make by doing this early, we can make changes or whatever.
Right.
Bit of the beauty of this is it gives us some time. That's
Yes.
what I was
Bring
looking
it down
for.
to-
I want, we're gonna need the time because I know availability is tough and there's a bunch of issues to discuss here.
Yeah.
And it, as Michelle said, it affects whatever we do with a future water and sewer service provider, whether it's F&V or somebody else. It affects that. So I would make a motion to appoint Belkey, Sterrett, and Barzak to the committee to create the duties and job description for the new DPW supervisor.
Support.
All in favor of the motion? Aye. Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
that.
That was a little sneaky.
We're in
It was sneaky,
the.
wasn't even after I said.
We need to talk.
Okay, motion's approved. We'll move on from that
Yeah,
subject now.
No, there's one more to make, and that's the committee to negotiate the one-year extension.
But I do, thank you guys for volunteering.
Well, it makes sense.
They may volunteer some more here in a minute.
Amy, I was in the Caribbean one year and volunteered for
Several
the
things.
planning
Lots of
commission.
things. Yeah.
I never knew it was coming.
All right, so we need one more motion to
Well,
appoint the committee.
before we make it, I would not limit this to this current contract extension. This, again, we're gonna tack potentially a year on it. But that is pretty much a no-brainer. I don't think anything is changing to that, other than they're gonna come back with incremental price increases for the next year. And their contract's got that in there already. So it's not really
All right, so it's to set a committee
extension, it's
to-
future contract.
to, well, you could have told me that earlier, and I
I
could have
did.
fixed it. No, I could have, you
Well, I
told me
would just
today,
say,
to a committee,
I would say to explore F&V contract scope changes for any future contract actions.
all right, so you need to slow down, to explore F&B,
Contract scope changes for any future contract actions. And again, nobody's making decisions here. We would come back to council and say, all right, this is kind of what we think.
future,
But it will lean heavily on whatever we come out with the DPW side, because we may decide to add jobs or take jobs away from the DPW, and then somebody else has got to do that stuff. So the water
what
and
was
sewer
after
provider.
future? For any future
Contract actions.
contract action. Okay, so Dave, I guess it's up to you to, throw people under the bus to be on that committee.
I'll be on the committee of the committee.
What was that?
I'll
You'll
be
be
on
on
the
that
committee of the committee.
Well, I'm gonna write you down first.
If they-
I would
if they
say
need some more
it's gotta
input,
be, unfortunately.
I deal with Wagner, sometimes, and so I just put my 2 cents in.
I
don't
I
have to
hate
be a
to say
water
it's
sewer
gotta be
guy,
Michael and Ross.
Well, you've already got it going as far
Yeah,
as
I would like to be on
the extension.
So Belknap.
Well, who negotiates what side of it? I do the sewer and he does the water? 'Cause then I'll put my name on the committee.
Well, I think you would almost have to be part of it, Michael.
Well, you're actually the bigger part,
Yeah,
Yeah, but there's not much change going on with the
Right.
sewer.
Yeah.
Water's the one that's got the change in. Yes, put me down regretfully.
see, this time they did volunteer.
Mike,
Yeah, Mike
Too
may
bad we
not
didn't
have
have
a
another
whole lot,
one.
that you
too
would
bad we
change.
didn't have another Mike, but we got Mike and
Ross.
Ross.
Alright,
You wanna make that motion too, Ross?
Yes, make a motion to appoint Shell, Belkey, and Steerit to the committee to negotiate a one-year contract extension with F&V operations and to explore F&V contract scope changes for any future contract,
Okay,
contract actions, sorry,
contract actions,
actions.
okay.
So we're looking at the 1 year,
I did it.
that's gonna be easy,
I don't think
I
they
think.
Oh,
It's everything that comes with it.
I thought we were already looking at the one
Thank
year.
you.
We have sent them a letter to ask them, would you be interested in doing that?
Oh.
We asked for, send us back your terms and conditions. And
I thought the motion was to allow us to negotiate it.
no,
Okay.
well, that's a good point. He's got a good point. We're not really negotiating a contract here.
It says right here, Water Commissioner Belkey as council's allowed.
I'm gonna scrap that motion here, let me
To
just.
negotiate a one-year contract
to-
extension.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were doing.
So we're already negotiating. You and I are negotiating.
Yes.
We're doing a good
So
job
this,
of that.
this motion has to change.
Just take the 1 year off.
Okay, so it's a committee to explore F&B contract scope changes for any future contract.
Future,
actions.
yeah.
That's it.
That makes
Just take
sense.
the 1 year off. Yep.
So to the committee, to explore F&B contract scope changes for any future contract actions.
Okay,
It's looking at after the 1 year. What do we do after the 1 year? Because we're really not changing anything in the.
and Joe seconded.
Okay.
Where'd it go?
So,
You ready? All in favor?
so we get another motion coming down?
Nope, yeah, this was it. He just
Okay.
made it.
Okay.
Joe seconded.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Okay, so we're all set with that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, that covers that part of the agenda. Do we have any upcoming agenda items? Okay. Citizen comments.
Good. I just have a couple of throwouts. I'm not interrogating the board or anything, I just, personal curiosity. The printer, it's a copier printer, right? It's not just a copier, so.
It's a printer, fax machine,
Yeah, I got it, okay.
scanner.
It just only said printer and I thought,
Yeah,
you know,
no.
of
no.
course we were doing better than
Yep,
that. for
yep.
$400.
We
Okay.
are.
Just a clarification. For old business, is it possible to have an update on the, last time Joe gave this wonderful list of all the citations that were issued and all the activities, and this time we only got one little snippet, and I was interested if potentially, as we're going through this whole crisis of trying to get more, and I'm not asking the question, I'm just throwing it out there, you don't have to comment, but it'd be nice if we heard more about that. We used to hear a lot about the tickets and the police action and stuff like that. We don't hear a lot of that. I was just hoping for more updates on community activities that our paid for staff is doing to make the community safer and more compliant with the regulations. It just is good to understand that. And then, could we also add something on the roads in old business? We talked a little bit about roads, but it'd be nice if there was just a line item that said, update road report or something like that, update on the roads, because I don't know what phase we're in and when the gooey stuff is going down.
Possibly
Yeah.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
but we're not set in stone on that,
You
so.
can't drive on that and then go on your driveway and all that, so, yeah.
Does that cover you,
Just
Bob?
my comments, yeah.
Okay, are there any other citizen comments? Kevin?
Kevin Grant, Armada resident. So maybe I misheard, but I was asking about item 2A, code enforcement expectations. So have there been no expectations at all, and the code enforcer has been just doing willy-nilly and just phoning it in, or has stuff been done? Because I don't believe I heard that part of the report from the meeting. This also kind of ties in.
Yeah, it's just citizen comments, so.
No, this is a question, you can bring it up, you got council comments afterwards, or you can bring it up the next meeting. This also has to do with the house over on Floral, and I'm just curious what the problem is with actually cleaning up the house. If the homeowner or the property owner is now responsive, give them a deadline, tow the boat out, tow the car out, you have a backhoe excavator, you have a dump truck, scoop up all the trash, throw in the back, take it to a landfill. What's keeping the village from doing that? So that could be addressed either later on
And I
tonight
did
or
address
next.
that in the meeting.
I'm
I
sorry?
did address that one in the meeting.
It was going to be going to the court, but what I'm saying is there a time frame where that can actually be done?
That'll be up to the court.
Court.
Yeah, the court will
Okay.
determine that.
Then that answers that question. Thank you.
And, you know, you can't just go in there and take somebody's property, especially if they're already licensed. I mean, we could say the car's gotta be in the driveway, but the car is licensed, what, the antique license or something they have on it?
Yeah,
And most trailers have a lifelong license now. When you buy a travel trailer, you buy a license that's goes with the life of the trailer. So you can't just go in and take the property.
Understood.
But anyhow, that's getting away from citizen comment anyhow.
So that was my one question. Again, the property is it basically looks like Detroit.
Yeah, it's terrible. We all agree with that. We said that before, Kevin. Any council comments?
So you guys all got that memo? So the way we're gonna start doing administrative reports is, we need them in writing, and we're gonna handle them like we do, any agenda item that you have. So I'll need them by Wednesday at noon prior to the meeting. You guys can still give your reports, but I'd like the written report on file because, you know, let's face it, when I do your minutes, I condense what you say pretty much, because that way we have an official, report that's on file. Yeah, and if you do not turn one in, Dave's not gonna go around the table and ask if you have anything to say or add or anything. So if you want to talk during that time, unless it's an emergency, of course, I mean, if something comes up. But other than that, then we'll have a written copy of
And
the
it'll be
reports.
agenda items, so they'll know they need to discuss it in the meeting.
It'll be under administrative reports, yeah.
Okay, are there any other council comments?
Concerts in the park, we're dwindling down, we're to the second one. There's 2 more left, and this one is Chisholm and, what's his name?
Washington.
Washington.
Yeah.
Chisholm and Washington. Washington's very talented, so is Chisholm.
Yeah, they're very good band.
Very, very good, more contemporary folk, very mellow music.
Anybody that missed last week's? Shame on you, they were great.
Yeah, they're very good, very talented. Michelle
Yeah, they
Brothers,
sure
very
are,
talented.
yeah.
They're very talented.
Okay, community events. Mike, do we have any community events?
That's what I said.
Concerts in the park. Any other ones? Of course, we got the fair coming.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah,
What about that Iron Mike thing, is that?
that's a
That was
5K
it.
run, that's happening
Yeah.
next
August
weekend.
9th.
August 9th.
August 9th.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good,
Well, we have no
or walk, whatever walk.
no closed session. So,
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:58.
Support?
all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's approved. Meeting adjourned.